How do you recover from a heartbreak? In baseball, it's easy. You go back out there the next night and you get right back on the horse. And tonight, with Matt Cain on the mound, the Giants look to ride their horse to a victory and even up the series. Giants D-backs next.
We've got another nice night here at AT&T Park as we get ready for Giants baseball. Game 2 of this 4-game series, Giants and D-backs. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krupko. Very, very tough loss last night. And look, the Giants will play the D-backs 3 more times, but it would be wise to let the D-backs know that the Giants are ready to play at home.
Well, I mean, there's some good things that happened in last night's ballgame. Number one, the Giants put up 7 runs, and normally that's enough. They did blow a big lead. That's a painful loss, blah, blah, blah. But you want to get back on the horse, you throw out the horse. And Matt Cain is the guy who comes into this game with a lifetime record against Arizona, 14-7. And he's also throwing the ball very well. The offense is confident, and Matt Cain is confident. And, well, let's hope it's enough tonight.
And we're confident, and that's what counts. All right, should be a good ball game here tonight. When we come back, you're going to get an update from Willie Mays Plaza, and you'll hear all of that right after this.
Baseball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Your San Francisco Giants got snake bit last night by the Diamondbacks, suffering a tough luck extra inning loss. They need a big league stop job tonight by their starter, Matt Cain, as they get set to start game 2 of this 4-game series. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and there was a silver lining in last night's game, and it came in the form of Giants rookie reliever Derek Law, and we are going to make that our healthy dose of goodness. It's brought to you by Eric's Deli Cafe. Law, making his AT&T Park regular season debut, recorded a perfect inning. Now, he only has 2 innings pitched in the majors so far. He's got 6 outs. 5 of those have been strikeouts. He's been extremely impressive, and it has not been an easy go. He had Tommy John surgery back in 2014. He told me today to be here is surreal. There were times during rehab he wasn't sure he was going to make it, but it made him that much more hungry to be at this level. And of course, last night his fiance Chelsea got to watch him throw here at AT&T Park. He's one to watch. Another one to watch, Matt Cain. He's going to be on the hill for your Giants this evening. Kruk and Kipe will be back after these messages with lineups and first pitch. Don't go anywhere.
Where we watch the flags and the wind is kicked up a little bit tonight. Not last night. Very calm last night. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. 65 degrees. See the winds, although it says light there. The flagpoles say maybe a little bit more brisk than that. Humidity at 28%, and it is partly cloudy. Matt Cain leads the Giants out of the dugout. Here's the lineup that he'll be facing. Looks very much like last night's lineup. It'll be Segura and then Lamb, who hit the game-tying home run last night, followed by Goldschmidt, Peralta, and Yosmani Tomas, who's going to hit 5th. 6th is Castillo. Ahmed 7th, and it's Owings. And the pitcher, left-hander Robbie Ray.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the veteran right-hander Matt Cain. Cain in his 11th year at the big league level. 6'3", 230-pounder, 31 years of age. And when you take your at-bats against Matt Cain, you're going to see a fastball. That'll go 90 to 93, depending on the grip and the situation. He is a curveball, a slider. He'll cut the ball, change up. He'll throw a lot of things at you. And he has had nice command of all that he throws since the start of the season. Lifetime against these Diamondbacks, he's got a good record. He is 14-7 with a 3.49 ERA. And right now we're going to take a look at the defense playing behind Matt Cain for the Giants tonight, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Pagan, Span, and Pence. Crawford and Duffy on the left side of the infield. Joe Panik joined by Buster Posey on the right side. And Trevor Brown will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So would you say Bruce Bochy wanting to get Buster Posey out of the squad for a game?
Well, with left-hander Robbie Ray on the hill tonight for the Diamondbacks, it's an opportunity to put another right-handed bat. And I think he's anxious to get more at-bats for Posey. He's on the verge of a good swing. He wants to get him some reps. And it's also his best offense.
Plus 4 hours and 35 minutes.
Yes. That'll get you out of the squad.
Here's Gene Segura to lead things off. As Cain looks in, and the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's hit high, foul territory. 1 out.
1 pitch, 1 out. Great way to start a game. Right now it's time for our Nissan keys of the game. And number 1, panic-free bullpen. Last night happened. You got to get over it. You got to get past it. In fact, that sets up our number 2 key. And that set it up for Santiago Casilla. Get him right back on the horse. For the horse, those are our Nissan keys to the game.
Here's Jake Lamb. 1 pitch, 1 out. And Lamb takes wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Lamb's home run to tie the game in the 9th was his 2nd of the year. And here he takes wide again. It's 2-0. On deck is Paul Goldschmidt. Overshift is on, and Lamb takes inside. 3-0. Behind the plate is Todd Tishner, followed by Miller, Hoberg, and Knight from first to third.
Titchener is a very tight zone. We saw one last night. Not big corners on Titchener's strike zone. The other thing too about Titchener, you pretty much have to be between the knees of the catcher to get a strike. You set a target in the outside corner, and that ball goes on the inside corner. You're not going to get it very often with Titchener. He will give high strikes. He will give low strikes.
And the walk.
And an example of the tight zone.
Not into the tight zone, by the way. I'm into the zone that makes it fair for everybody. That's the zone I'm in. I'm also into the zone that moves the game along.
Look for strikes.
Goldschmidt hitting .229, 3 home runs, 9 driven in. Quick toss to first, and Lamb is back. On deck is Peralta. Goldschmidt takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. Goldschmidt hits a high fly ball. Right center field. Penn says that he has everything under control, and he does. That's scary because in Arizona that might be gone.
Well, it's a much easier ballpark to hit home runs the opposite way, no doubt. Although last night was a pretty lively AT&T Park, sort of favoring the hitters, and that doesn't happen very often. For Matt Cain, he's more of a fly ball strikeout pitcher. More fly balls than ground balls. So if you're an outfielder, you should get some work tonight with Cain.
So here's David Peralta. Why would I write Johnny Peralta down on my?
I did the same thing. What does that tell you?
Well, at least I didn't write Marvin Bernard. Here's the pitch to Peralta.
Good changeup. It's important the very first inning as a starting pitcher. You go out there and whatever pitches you have, you've got to show that team you can get them over.
Boy, that cut right in on his hands. It's 0-2.
And this is what we've seen since really spring training when he got on the hill and started throwing. No longer was it a problem for him to control his arm slide. And that was what really caused him frustration last year. It's not been an issue, and because of that, he's had nice corner command with all of his pitches. Hey, Rigetti, the pitching coach, very happy about that.
Lamb with his lead at first. He's got 1 steal on the season. So I'm going to foul back.
Well, you wonder how does Kane do against lefties, righties? Well, right now the lefties are hitting pretty good. Righties, not so good. But season is young.
Outside, 1-2.
But the splits are definitely something that a coaching staff will pay very close attention to.
Hit up the middle. Kane knocks it down. And that'll end the inning as Peralta hit it right on the screws. Span, Panic, Posey coming up. Coming up. Here's Bruce Bochy's lineup. It'll be Span, Panic, and Buster Posey. We'll go back to Joe Panic. You can see where he ranks. RBIs at his position. Pence will be the cleanup hitter, and then it's Brown, Crawford, and Duffy. Matt Cain will hit 8th, and Pagan, who's red hot, 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Diamondbacks will be the left-hander Robbie Ray. Ray's got a little over a year's time at the big league level. 24 years old, 6'2", 195-pounder. And this is what he has done in 2 starts. He's pitched well. He has not gotten a win or a loss, but is based on balls. That's the problem. Not getting hit a lot, but he's walking a lot of people. He's got a good fastball, low to mid-90s. He can be straight with a little tail running away from a righty into a lefty. He's got a good curveball, and you'll see that more than the slider that he also has. And he has a changeup. 4-pitch guy. Go get him. A lot of fastballs.
Here's Span. And Span takes down low. Denard Span last night 2 for 4. Walked a couple of times. Span was on base 4 times. And I guess when you see the leadoff hitter on base 4 times, you'd expect him to score more than 1 run. 2 balls and no strikes. But as you said when we did our talk back with Greg Papa and Bill and Vida, you score 7 runs, you should win in this park.
You should win in this park.
There's a strike to Denard Span. Panic. And then Buster Posey. Matt Cain as he watches Denard Span trying to get on base for Joe Panic to pitch. Swinging a soft line drive right at Nick Ahmed for out number 1.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Arizona Diamondbacks, starting in their outfield. It'll be Tomas, Owings, and Peralta. Good arms in left and in center. Ahmed and Lamb on the left side of the infield. Segura and Goldschmidt on the right side. Wellington Castillo, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Panic hitting .250. He's got a little history against Robbie Ray's 2 for 3 lifetime. Rolls this one to Goldschmidt, and that'll be out number 2. So Posey will hit with nobody on and 2 outs.
That was the last out of the inning, and it looked like he hit just above the glove, caught him on the wrist, and it's a direct hit. That ball goes straight down. Not many pitchers that I know wouldn't trade a bruise for an out, and that's going to be a bruise.
I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. I'm not going to look at it. I've been there. Buster takes in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. .273 for Buster Posey. A couple of home runs, 5 driven in. Had a couple of hits last night. Pitches high and wide, so it's 3-0.
My mama needs a Buster hug for her birthday. Well, we all need one of those.
Sorry, he can't get into the stands. It's not allowed. And a 4-pitch walk. And Hunter Pence is going to hit.
And Robbie Ray gets in the stretch for the first time tonight.
Here's Pence. Hunter Pence at .245. A couple of home runs, 10 driven in. And he shoots it into right field, a base hit.
Hunter Pence not waiting around. 4 straight balls to Posey. He gets up there hacking at the first pitch. Not a problem.
There always seems to be a big gap for Hunter Pence between first and second.
A 2-seam fastball at the belt, out over the plate. And that's what you want to do. You want to go to right field with it. Execute perfectly against that pitch in that location.
Here's Trevor Brown. How about Trevor Brown? September 1st of last year, sitting on a couch watching Big League Baseball on TV. Now hitting 5th for the San Francisco Giants with 3 home runs.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has a problem with it either.
And he takes a strike. Got 7 runs batted in. Posey at second, Pence at first. So Hunter Pence owns the first hit of the game.
You know, Robbie Ray, you saw the walk total, almost averaging a walk per inning, and he's the kind of guy that can be all over the place and then all of a sudden paint you with 95 on the knees on a corner. The only time that really backs up against a pitcher effectively pitching wild is when you have a tight strike zone to work with, and that's kind of the case tonight.
Brown out of play, 1-2. Giants come into the game, they're 7-7, so they're right at 500. D-backs are 6-8. Giants at home are 3-2. They're 4-5 on the road. Arizona's played better on the road than at home. They're 2-5 at home and 4-3 on the road. Down low, 2-2.
Good pitch. That's a breaking ball on a 1-2 count. First one he's throwing tonight, and that was a perfect location.
There's the Trevor Brown Sacramento River Cats baseball card.
It's a good looking card.
It is. It's a good looking kid.
He could be a River Cats player someday.
Full count with Crawford on deck. Oh, he's with mom.
Date night with mom.
Dad's probably watching at home thinking, what am I doing?
Yep, mom's got a cold one. She's ready for a game. Got her date. Life does not get any better than that.
Runners will be on the move, 3-2. And Brown hooks it right over Roberto Kelly. Make sure you got your helmet on, Roberto. Remember, you got dinged in the dugout in Los Angeles. Got hit in the head, and the miracle was he had his helmet on.
That is a miracle. He might be the only guy I ever know that wore his helmet in the dugout.
That is a fact. There's Billy Hayes over at first. And another payoff, and it's foul down the right field line and out of play.
You have a pitcher who has a reputation for being wild. If you're the pitching coach, Mike Butcher, pitching coach of the Diamondbacks, or the skipper Chip Hell, and he's throwing strikes in 3-2 counts and the guy's fouling him away, they kind of start worrying every once in a while, when's the weird one coming? Can he throw another strike?
That is true. Runners go. Brown up the middle. Segura in the dirt, and Goldschmidt digs it out, and that'll end the inning. Giants trying to pair after 1-0.
brought to you by AAA. Get a free Giants all-season blanket. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/Giants or to a AAA branch for details.
Well, if you're looking for an ideal gift for a friend or family member that is graduating, check out Grad Pack. That's right, Giants Grad Pack. It's a perfect gift for the graduate this spring. Tickets to 2 Giants games plus a class of 2016 Giants cap with orange tassel. Go to sfgiants.com/minipacks and check it out.
So here's Wellington. Check that. Here's Yasmani Tomas. Wellington Castillo is on deck. Matt Cain threw 13 pitches in that first inning. Here he throws one low, 1 ball and no strikes. Outside corner to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good changeup. Perfect location. Playing Tomas pretty straight away, and that's really a testimony to how much of the field he'll use. He hits it all over. And he doesn't like to walk either.
Two 1 pitch. Gets jammed and he flips it foul. 1 for 1.
Hey, the old left-hander, Mark Almer. And David Schwartz, our old pal, patrolling the third base side tonight.
Looks to me like he needs a pair of glasses.
Yes, he does.
Driven high and deep and foul. It's in there somewhere. Did not lose the burger or the fries.
Impressive.
Souvenir time down the right field line.
High five. Trying to give her the ball, and she's giving him a high five. We got to work a few things out. I know it's April, but we got to work a few things out, folks.
Three and 2. All right, here we go.
Okay, I have the ball for you. High five.
Oh yeah. Okay. What do we drop? Payoff pitch. Here it is. Cain was walking off. I don't think Mr. Todd Tishner is very happy. Neither is that guy.
Yeah, that's 2 walks now from Cain, and when he's missed, he hadn't missed by a whole lot. Right there on the outside corner, framed, and when a catcher catches the ball and holds it there for a while, he's letting that umpire know that he disagrees with the call.
So here's Wellington Castillo. He takes a strike.
That's the reaction from Bruce Bochy. What was it? What? You're killing me. Matt Cain. Wow. You just don't have a big strike zone tonight. Titchener's tight.
Hit on the ground to Panic. Panic will get the out at first. Amy G is here, so let's go down to Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, let's get fans updated on some roster moves. The Giants today placing reliever George Contos on the 15-day disabled list. He has a flexor tendon strain. They also optioned reliever Chris Heston down to AAA. They've recalled Mike Broadway, a right-handed pitcher, and Stephen Okert, a lefty. Gentleman, Bruce Bochy saying about Chris Heston, not an easy decision. He was put in a very difficult role. They sent him down so that he can pitch on a regular basis. They feel that he has the ability to be a very good long reliever, and they want to give him a chance to do that, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he really had a great year last year.
Well, yeah, I mean, not only can be a long reliever, he can be a guy in the rotation.
Ahmed takes outside, 1-0, hitting .250, 3 home runs. There's Okert.
Got the look of a rook.
Nick Ahmed takes a strike.
You know what Kane's thinking. That's the 3-2 pitch you called for a ball, meat.
Well, maybe it just tells you maybe Tickler didn't like to call guys out.
Well, there are umpires like that.
Pops this one up, and it's going to be a souvenir and not a play. Ahmed steps out. He's only faced Kane a couple of times. He's 1 for 2. Good ball, and this lifted over the D-backs dugout. It stays 1-2. Uh-oh.
Gamer Bade made a play. Barehander. That's the story we're going with. Oh yeah, thumbs up. Everybody's good.
Got a tomahawk that high fastball.
Yeah, that's one thing that Kane does so well. I mean, he can pitch right across the letters with the high fastball. And I think Ahmed did well just to catch a piece of that, stay alive in the 1-2 count.
One ball and 2 strikes. Chris Owings is on deck. Brown's going to go out and have a word. I always enjoy watching Buster when somebody else is catching. He's over at first, and kind of wonder what goes through his mind. Is he thinking along with Brown? Is he trying to think like a first baseman, but it's hard?
I think once you've been a catcher, I don't think your mind ever turns off.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why there's so many ex-catchers managing in the big leagues. They don't take a pitch off. Always anticipate situation, player abilities, what type of strike zone the umpire's giving you or not giving you. I mean, you can't say that for every position. I mean, there's guys out in the outfield that are, they can free float for a while. Sure, they're in on every pitch, but I don't know if they're anticipating as a catcher would anticipate.
This is playable for Joe Panic. I always liked it when you'd be on the mound and you'd look out and see your right fielder in the batting stance.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Yep.
A couple of catchers. I mean, that's what's comfortable right there. You spend the whole summer in that position, even if you're playing first base, get in the squat. Oh, yeah, I mean, if you're out there on the mound, you want your defense to be thinking defense. You don't want to be thinking about their next at bat or their last at bat.
Jack Clark used to do it every once in a while. I always used to try to get Jack's attention when he was doing it. Hey, Mike's watching you.
Captain Oblivious.
So the hitter will be Robbie Ray. And Robbie Ray on the season is 0 for 5.
So a couple of walks for Kane here in the second. One of the walks intentional. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Another full house tonight. Hey, the old Matt Cain curveball, nothing in 2.
Coming around the backside too. Perfect location. And that's really how you have to pitch the pitcher. When you walk the 8th hole guy to get to that pitcher, you got to pitch him like he's Paul Goldschmidt.
A high fastball, 1 and 2.
If you're going to throw the high fastball 0-2, it's got to be higher. I mean, that was right on the top of the strike zone.
Hey, some happy fans tonight. You know what?
Always.
That'll end the inning for the Giants. It'll be Crawford, Duffy, and Kane coming up.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. Get major league coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year.
Well, the Giants Insider Podcast is live on csnbayarea.com, and you can log in each week as Insider Alex Pavlovich will talk baseball with the players, coaches, special guests, and much, much more. Giants Insider Podcast with Alex Pavlovich on csnbayarea.com, also available on iTunes.
That's always a good way to go. Here's Crawford. Crawford hitting at 256. He went 1 for 5 last night. The Giants had 13 hits last night. The D-backs had 16. So lefty against lefty. And Crawford takes outside. Yeah, it's always, we've watched batting practice for thousands of years, and it's hard to take anything out of batting practice how a guy does, but I will say this. This guy here had a terrific round of batting practice today. He just hit everything just the opposite of that. He hit everything hard.
Yeah, he wasn't making many marks on the bat.
As a matter of fact, I looked to see if his bat was different than anybody else's because it had a different sound to it. Back in our day, if there was a different sound coming off of someone's bat,
it meant one thing.
You had to have it checked.
He was loading his bat.
That was 1-2 to Brandon Crawford. And he got him. First strikeout for Robbie Ray.
A cut fastball right on the inside corner, just above the knees. And you're going to see a lot of this with Robbie Ray. I mean, he throws that fastball a lot, about 70% of the time.
Here's Duffy hitting 170. Doing a lot of work to get the swing back as he takes a strike.
It's amazing when he's been in the streak where he hasn't been getting many hits. It's almost like he steps in that batter's box as an 0-1.
Yeah, no, that's true. Or 0-2.
Yep. Let's take a look at our X-Mo. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Classic high leg kick and then a high 3/4 right over the top. A little crossover step, which is good for curveballs. Our X-Mo.
This is hit on the ground to Gene Segura, and that's out number 2. And here's Matt King.
Bob Brindley, our former teammate and the color analyst for the Diamondbacks, was talking about Robbie Ray. He says, you know, he doesn't get hit hard a lot. Problem he has that he creates so many scoring opportunities because of the base on balls.
Here's Kane, who gets bunched up on the pitch inside, 0-1.
And any scout report that Bob Brindley gives, I'm going to listen to. Good baseball man.
Yes, he is. 0-2 pitch. 1-2. Pagan in the on-deck circle, seeing if Kane can reach. We're in the bottom of the 2nd. And that'll end the inning. And another fastball. Top of the order coming up. It'll be Gene Segura, 0-0. Our teacher program presented by Provident Credit Union. Tonight's nominee is Mr. George Rose from Willard Middle School in Berkeley. George is one of 5 finalists with a chance to win $20,000 for his school. He's an English, student government, and drama teacher at Willard Middle School. George is a big part of the Willard's Growing Leaders program. There you see George, where students prepare home-cooked meals for the community. To vote for George Rose, visit csnbayarea.com/AST. George Rose. Good job, George.
Good luck, Mr. Rose.
Here's Gene Segura, who takes high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Show your love with the Rose. That's the whole point. You can get on to and vote for your favorite teacher. $20,000 for his or her school. I mean, that's a lot. And nobody can get more out of $20,000 than a teacher.
2-0 pitch. Segura hits a high fly ball center field. And Span is going to put it away. He had a good healthy rip at that high fastball. So here's Lamb, who drew a walk in the first inning.
First pitch change up just a little bit inside. Kane, not an easy guy to sit on a pitch or a location.
There's a called strike.
And simply because of his ability to locate with all of his pitches. I mean, there are a lot of guys, if they throw a changeup, they just want to throw it for a strike. They're not thinking inside, outside. Well, Kane's different. He'll think corners on every pitch he has.
Foul back. It's 1-2.
That's why I can't even explain last year the problem that he had trying to repeat the arm slide. I mean, what you're seeing tonight is how he's pitched his whole career. Said at the end of last year, I just need to reboot, start over, and it really has paid off for him.
Breaking ball hits softly to Buster Posey. He will shovel it to Matt King. It's usually the other way around with those two. So with 2 outs, here's Paul Goldschmidt.
Got his glove. She got the ball. Match made in heaven.
It is. And a strike to Goldschmidt, who hit a fly ball to Hunter Pence in the first inning. And a quick 0-2.
Back-to-back perfect location pitches, fastball slider. Very similar pre-bat position. Really drapes it over his shoulder, very much like Posey, and then he gets it up into the high position. Pitchers and hitters very similar in one way. When that front foot hits the dirt, their hands have to be high.
One-two pitch, high and foul, and another souvenir.
From a hitter's perspective, how you start your hands really doesn't mean a whole lot. It's where your hands are once your front foot gets down.
And that's just a bit outside. 2-2. Three and 2.
0-2 to a 3-2.
Got him. Second strikeout for Kane, and for the Giants it'll be Pagan, Span, and Panic coming up.
Bay Area is brought to you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
After 2.5, it's 0-0 as Angel Pagan's going to lead things off against Robbie Ray. And a strike. Pagan 2 for 3 lifetime against Robbie Ray. Span on deck and then Panic. And there's a little flare down the right field line, and that's going to be foul. Got him.
Fastball payout pitch. Just cuts that thing on the inside corner. And they just are not picking it up the first time through the lineup.
Padres will be at AT&T Park April 25th, 6th, and 27th. The Monday and Tuesday games, the 25th and 26th. Those are night games. And then day baseball on the 27th with a 12:45 start. Check out the Padres, sfgiants.com/tickets. Here's Span, who hit a soft line drive to Nick Ahmed at short. And here he takes inside for a ball, 1-0.
Robbie Ray wants to know where that fastball was. The same pitch they threw for strike 3 to Brandon Crawford. Good fastball inside corner.
And Span shortened up to bunt. It's a strike.
Good slide on a 1-0 count. We haven't seen many breaking balls either from Ray. No problem throwing that behind the count 1-0.
And a bit wide. 2 balls and 1 strike. Joe Panic on deck. Only 1 hit in the game. That was a base hit by Hunter Pence in the first. 3-1.
Castillo taking a long time putting down that call for the fastball.
And the walk. So the Giants will take the walk.
All right, time now for our Togos big play. The Togos way last night. Joe Panic stepped up against Archie Bradley and took a fastball and rode it right out of here over the wall in right center. Now, Panic today said, he goes, I really hit that ball well. He says, I went into my trop, and then halfway down the line, I'm thinking, wait, this is AT&T, and I better start running hard.
And he said on a normal night, he thought it probably would have been off the wall. Panic bounced out to Goldschmidt. There's a quick toss that Robbie Ray has got, and it's the old Terry Mulholland move.
It's a good move. He's perfected it. See the hot spot, middle in. About mid-thigh high. I think a lot of guys can lay claim to that hot spot.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If you're making a habit of throwing it there as a pitcher, you're gonna improve everybody's stat sheet.
I think there's some Hall of Famers that probably hit 500 in that spot.
Frank Robinson was one of them.
0-1 to Panic.
Respectful straightaway defense. It's so unusual to see straightaway defense in this day and age. But really, it tells you about the hitter, and Panic is a balanced hitter. He'll use the whole field. Steele going to give Ray a little bit of a pep talk.
Uh-oh.
And Mike Butcher, pitching coach, trots out. I think he leads the league in mound visits.
I think he does, but you know what? He's pretty quick.
This meeting on the mound brought to you by Ring Central Business Communications, made simple. You know, when you go out there and a guy's struggling with his command, I mean, you go back to the basics. All right, what are you looking at? Are you keeping your eyes on the target? Are you watching the ball after you throw it? And you don't ever want to do that. You want to keep your eyes on the target even after you throw the ball. A lot of times that'll bring a guy right back in the strike zone. It's amazing how just basic fundamental throwing skills at times could be forgotten even by big leaguers. That's why you need coaches.
Hit on the ground. Goldschmidt's got it. That's one. And there'll be no throw. Panic reaches on the fielder's choice. Here's Buster Posey. Buster drew a walk in the first.
Posey fan since birth. That's right. He's got to be about in the first grade, judging by his teeth or lack of. He's either in the first grade or he's 84 years old. One of the two.
One ball and no strikes to Buster Posey. Hit on the ground to Nick Ahmed, and that'll end the inning. A walk, one stranded, through three. Not much offense. Nothing. Stories. It happened on September 4th in Arizona in 2005. Matt Cain earned his first career major league victory in his second start. Cain went 7 innings, 3 hits, striking out 4. Giants won 3-2. Felipe the manager. Mike Matheny was the catcher. And in all honesty, Matt Cain hasn't changed that much. There's a strike.
He really hasn't. But you know, you talk about how lucky a guy is to come into the big leagues and A, have a pitching coach like Dave Righetti, and B, have a catcher his rookie year like Mike Matheny.
Unbelievable. Cain spears this one off the bat of David Peralta, 1 out. So that was 2005. He hasn't changed that much either.
No, he hasn't. Still has the same passion for the game.
Tomas drew a walk in the second. And it's wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Wellington Castillo to follow. There's a swing and a foul through the legs of Giants catcher Trevor Brown. And the pitch is wide, 2-1. Foul back. Got somebody. It's 2-2. Kane going after Tomas, and it's outside, 3-2.
Big, wide, sweeping breaking ball on the 2-2 pitch. Tomas really has not gone out of the strike zone much against Kane. I mean, he's done it. It's been below the strike zone, not off the plate away.
And on what would have been ball 4, a foul straight back.
Some guy caught a ball right below us. Guy next to him said, "Throw it back."
Throw it back.
Yeah, you do that in the bleachers, not behind home plate.
And the walk. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, guys, it is the 2nd annual College Night campaign here with the Giants tonight. They're paying tribute to University of California, Berkeley, and we saw Oski the Bear arrive, and we also got to see Cal head football coach Sonny Dykes throw out the ceremonial first pitch. He did a very good job. Tonight there are students, alum, and fans all of Cal, Berkeley, and the Giants joining forces. It was a special event ticket, and proceeds are going to go to an affiliated nonprofit with UC Berkeley. Fun night, gentlemen.
Good night. Steele takes one, and it's going to go to the backstop. So that'll be a wild pitch. So the offense tonight for both teams has been the walk.
The walk and a wild pitch. 5 walks in this ball game. Trevor Brown cannot be too happy he did not get a body in front of that breaking ball. Yeah, I know it was wide, but you know it's going to be a breaking ball. And it's not a pitch that comes at you as fast as the fastball. You do have time to slide over it. That was just a reach across there. Not a lot of slide with his right foot.
So Kane does what a lot of pitchers will do when the strikes are coming few and far between. Ask for a new baseball.
Not a bad idea. Some balls just don't have strikes in them.
You know.
It's not like he's getting squeezed right now. I mean, he's missing wide.
Well, that is not a strike. It's 3-1.
Really inside corner, maybe at best, but definitely a pitcher's strike on a 3-0 count. I wouldn't throw it again and expect to get it.
Duffy gives ground. This is a long throw, and Posey digs it out. Nice play on both ends. That's one where you really can't even think about the throw. You just got to make it.
Well, and you hope you have a slow runner coming down the line. The bounce of the ball takes Duffy back. And as he goes back, he's got to play it. He gets the high hop, sets himself. And Buster Posey reaching far out to dig that thing out of the dirt. So again, good play on both sides of the field. That's our forward right choice.
And here's Nick Ahmed. .90-mile-an-hour fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes.
Next pitch will be number 70 on the night. At the end of 4 innings, you want to be at 60s. It gives you an idea of just how far over the norm is for Kane as he gets to number 70.
This is pop below us in the club level. One ball and 1 strike. No swing.
Bill Miller, the crew chief at first base, saying no swing. Take a look at how Kane used his pitches last year. 55% of the time fastball. I mean, it's really pretty much kind of the same distribution of pitches, just much better command.
And that's going to be foul. It's 2-2.
Although I say much better command, and he's got 4 walks tonight. But I don't think all of that is his fault. Last year, he just could not count on his fastball for location. He even didn't get it in situations. He just could not control the fastball.
Panic out at second base. And Kane's going to pitch through a 1-out walk and a wild pitch. Pence, Brown, Crawford, Duffy, they're all coming up. It's 0-0.
broadcast is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
No score as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Just one hit tonight. The Giants got that in the 1st inning with 2 outs and runner on. Hunter Pence hit the first pitch that he saw in the right field. That has been it.
So Pence to lead things off. And a slow curveball for a strike. Haven't seen that pitch too much.
He's had better command with the curveball than he has the fastball.
And a quick 0-2.
And he followed up the curveball with a changeup. So Pence in his first at bat gets a first pitch fastball, spanks it. Hadn't seen one since.
This is hit on the ground to Nick Ahmed. 1 out. Here's Trevor Brown. Trevor Brown had the only at bat in this game for the Giants with a runner in scoring position. And he shoots one to right, and it's going to fall. So there's a 1-out base hit.
And Trevor Brown, as he so often will do, goes to right field. It was interesting watching him go down the line as that ball got to Peralta, the right fielder. All of a sudden, Trevor Brown's thinking, I better start picking up the pace. You don't want to get thrown out from the right fielder. Right now, it's like, whoa, kick it in gear.
So here's Crawford. Crawford takes one just wide. Crawford struck out looking in the 2nd. Same spot. 2 balls and no strikes.
Straight away.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, again, a nice pitch with the breaking ball and fastball count. Really established the fastball well the first time through the lineup. Threw it a lot. But here now, even when he's down the count 2-0, 1-0, I mean, he's throwing that slider, and it's been a good pitch for him. And Castillo wants to see it again.
Crawford chases. It's 2-2. Duffy on deck. And Crawford had a good rip.
Well, 3 sliders in a row. That one had some hang time on it, right up there around the belt over the plate. Crawford's always been a good high ball hitter. You throw a breaking ball that runs flat at the belt, he's going to be on it, and that's exactly where this one was. And he's thinking, man, I just missed it. Head stayed down nice through that swing.
Foul back. That's 96, so he can add if he wants. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Well, now it's full count.
You get an idea as to what Castillo will think his best chance to get over the plate with, fastball or a slider. And he's calling a slider.
Got him. Fourth strikeout.
A little front door slider. And Todd Pitcher, plate umpire, says, "Ah, looks pretty good for me." So 2 at bats, 2 strikeouts for Crawford.
Away from the target, and here's Duffy. And Duffy shoots one up the middle, and he's got a base hit. And Matt Cain's got a shot now to help himself.
Take a look at first pitch aggressiveness. A challenge fastball, middle in, hits it right off the end of the bat, but up the middle. And when you're looking for hits and one finds a hole, you're thinking, yeah, starting to turn for me, baby.
Cain, who over the years has shown us that he can hit a little bit. This year he's 0 for 4 so far, and a strikeout looking today.
This should be his best effort here with the runner in scoring position and 2 outs.
1 ball and no strikes.
So Castillo going to come out. Perhaps calm Ray down a little bit here. He may have been upset not getting that first pitch strike. He thought it was there.
Cain with a bunt, and he bunts it foul.
Well, with a left-hander out there that falls out towards the third base line, if you're going to bunt, try and push on the right side of the infield. It does help if you get a better pitch. I think that thing was up around his head, out over the plate away. I have no problem with the idea. If you can do it once, do it again.
1-2.
I mean, only Cain knows how he's seeing him. He struck out looking his first at bat with a fastball right down the middle, and he never moved on it. So I don't know if he's seeing him.
And that'll do it. So the Giants get a runner in scoring position. 5 strikeouts for Robbie Ray on a gorgeous night here at the corner of 3rd and King. It is 0-0.
on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
Here tonight at AT&T Park, we've got a pitcher's duel. And it's a 0-0 ball game. For the Diamondbacks, it'll be Chris Owings, then the pitcher Robbie Ray, followed by Gene Segura. Kane has walked 4. He's struck out 2. Owings is going to wrap this one into the gap, and that's going to be the first hit of the game for the Diamondbacks. And Owings is aboard as he sees the first pitch from Kane here in the 5th.
Setting an outside target, challenge first pitch fastball, and that's exactly what Owens has looked for. I mean, I don't know, so many guys look for fastball middle in, and he gets it and does not miss it. So he splits a gap, puts himself in scoring position, and now we'll see how Chip Hale, the skipper of the D-backs, wants to use Robbie Ray. Not a good hitter, but he's a pretty good bunter.
First extra base hit in the game. And Ray bunts it foul. It's no balls and 1 strike. Posey charging. Duffy started to charge and then he went back to third.
That guy's a San Francisco fan. You can just tell.
This is out in front of the plate. And Robbie Ray does the job. On Sunday, April 24th, the first 7,500 kids 14 and under, they're going to receive a Joe Panic backpack, and it's presented by C's Candy. And you can get your tickets at sfgiants.com/tickets. Giants will play the infield in for Gene Segura, who's popped out and flied out. First pitch is in the dirt, blocked nicely by Brown. 1 ball and no strikes.
Ball in the dirt, better lateral movement to his right. Runners at third base will usually do that to a catcher. You're going to find out just how good of a ball blocker a catcher is. He is on his toes and he is on red alert. You want your pitcher to have the confidence to throw that breaking ball in the dirt, but he has to feel that you're going to block it.
And that shoots into the seats down the right field line. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Jake Lamb. Pass Crawford into left field, a base hit. Boy, Segura hit that right on the nose. It's 1-0. Here's our Geico quote. Santiago Casilla on Jake Lamb's home run last night. That's what happens when you miss your spots. You have to pay, so I paid up.
Well, here was that swing of the bat. 2 outs, 1-2 count. They wanted a high fastball. It went right across the plate, middle in at the belt. And that tied it up and changed the evening for the Giants.
So Segura with an RBI. He's got 3 steals, so the Giants will keep an eye on him.
You know, as hard as it was for Casilla, and last night, I mean, he walked out of here and he took that game with him, man. It's something that's so hard to do, is lead the game in the clubhouse, especially when you're the closer. And his comments were reality. I mean, you make a mistake, expect to pay the fiddler, and he did. But he also knows that he's going to be the guy out there tonight. If the Giants have a lead in the 9th inning, I mean, he's going to be the guy to try and protect it.
That's right.
That's why you cannot dwell on a negative. You got to move on, and he does. The first fastball tonight that Kane has been underneath, had a little push to it. The guy does that, you watch how he corrects it on the next pitch. How does he get his arm back up in a high position?
Comes back with a strike, gets 2-1. Overshift is on. Now Crawford's going to move over to the left side of second base. 2 balls and a strike. And this is hit into the gap, and nobody's going to get there. Segura, who runs well, is going to end up scoring. Lamb, who runs pretty good as well, he's going to end up at third. And it's 2-0.
The breaking ball, it was just down around the knees out over the middle of the plate. And Lamb went down and got it. And he finds Triples alley, and with his speed, once that thing split the gap and got past Pence and Span, it was an easy 3-bagger. And just like that, Dave Righetti going to come out. And Giants have some activity in their bullpen.
And it's Mike Broadway.
Jake Lamb has been something else in this series.
Well, he hurt the Giants early in the season last year, and then not so much after that.
Well, he's had 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run so far. And we're in game 2 of the 4-gamer. The 5th inning in Colorado also win against Kane.
Curveball to Goldschmidt. Infield in. Goldschmidt struck out in the 3rd. Should be deep enough. Pence catching, tagging is Lamb, and it's a 3-run 5th inning. Sacrifice fly for Goldschmidt, RBI number 10 on the year.
Nice situation, look bad.
So here's Peralta. Peralta rockets one over Panic for a base hit. So the Diamondbacks had no hits off of Kane coming into this inning. They've had 4. All hit pretty hard here in the 5th.
You know, Mike Broadway's ready to go. This is probably going to be the last hitter that Kane will face no matter what.
There's a base hit up the middle. So Tomas has been on base 3 times. And that's probably going to do it for Matt Cain. Things going pretty well for Cain until this inning. But the other thing that's been predictable for Matt Cain is Giants haven't scored at all for him. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back. Warriors and Rockets game 3 Thursday at 6:30. An hour-long pregame live will start at 5:30 on CSN Bay Area. Game 3. Check it out right here on CSN Bay Area.
New pitcher now for the Giants will be Mike Broadway. That's what he did last season with the Giants. In 21 games, 13 strikeouts, and 17-3. He's a hard thrower. You see mid to high 90s with a fastball. He's got a slider and a split.
First pitch breaking ball to Wellington Castillo, who's bounced out twice. Diamondbacks with a 3 spot here in the 5th.
Broadway, a big guy, 6'5", 215. 29 years old, 60 days total in the big leagues prior to today.
0-2.
And all of the runs that Kane has allowed this whole season have been in the 5th inning.
Well, that's a bit odd.
Well, it is. I mean, he hadn't allowed a hit till he got into the 5th inning, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. The pitch count was still high. You know, he's still building strength in that shoulder.
Two and two.
Little slider just below the strike zone. I mean, that's the one you can't head to count 1-2. You want to throw, but you want Castillo to get after it. From Castillo's perspective, that's a pretty good take.
Well, you see a lot of hitters offer at that pitch. Here it's 2-2. And now full count.
Broadway in Sacramento was in 4 games, through 5 innings total, gave up 4 hits allowed. So he comes up here with a confidence. Right now he needs to make a pitch.
And a check swing foul from Castillo. He remains 3-2. Hey, Reds beat the Rockies tonight. Atlanta beat the Dodgers tonight. Pirates are leading San Diego tonight. Here, the Giants are trailing 3-0. Runners go. And that will end the inning. 3 runs on 5 hits. Giants coming up.
MLB.com @bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
So here's Angel Pagan to lead things off. Giants have had some base runners, but nothing to cross home plate. Pagan struck out looking in the 3rd. And he takes in tight for a ball, 1-0.
Now, by now, the Giants should have a pretty good idea. The movement, the speed of the fastball, right? The breaking ball. It's a big at bat for the Giants. Because after Pagan, lineup flips over and everybody starts to face Ray for the 3rd time. He can get on base here to start it out. That's the challenge. Plus, once you give up 3 late in the ball game like the Giants have done, now they trail 3-0. To be able to answer in the bottom half, even if it's just 1 run, a big, big thing to do.
So 2-0 to 2-2. Out of play. He runs that fastball in on the hands. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good stuff, boy.
He really does. I mean, you've seen a lot of fastballs from Ray, and I understand now why he throws it 70% of the time, because guys just don't square it up. 67% of the time tonight, which is a little under the average for Ray.
It's a tough take. 3-2.
6 pitches, 6 fastballs.
Got him.
7 fastballs. 6th strikeout for Robbie Ray. 2 times he's gotten Pagan, and not many pitchers this year have been able to say that. Pagan's been red hot since the first game. Again, the cut fastball right on the hands.
He's gotten Crawford twice, Kane twice, Pagan twice. Span is 0 for 1. Out of play.
Got a man making a play.
The old Giants jacket. Those were the styles that we wore.
Good looking jacket. Still have yours?
I got one somewhere.
I want to see.
Doesn't fit though. I've lost weight since my playing days. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a little big on me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem.
You know what? Usually goes the other way for a lot of guys, but not me. And Span gets hit.
Well, it's a painful way to get first base, but the Giants will take any base runner they can. So a mistake from Robbie Ray of trying to go inside. This thing just goes up and just grazes the tricep on the right arm of Denard Span. So another free gift of 90 feet.
Here's Joe Panic. In the dirt.
Nice block by Wellington Castillo.
Ain't gonna miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's really made some nice location pitches with that slider, especially behind the count. You know, as many fastballs as he's throwing, I mean, he's taken away some fastball counts with that slider in a nice way, especially the lefties. Steele wants another slider. That's 3 pitches, 3 sliders. Buster Posey waits on deck. Would love to step in that batter's box and be the tying run.
Right, you need base runners. Move the line along. It's 2-1 to Joe Panic. 3-0 Arizona here in the 5th. Nope, he didn't get it. 3-1. And this pop-up is over by the Giants dugout. And it's 2 rows back.
Not the normal stiff wind we see here at this ballpark. It's a friendly breeze. There is carry to center field. And that's the norm in this ballpark.
See what Span does. He does not go, and this is driven into right, a base hit. Span will turn the bag at second, and he'll head into third. So nice at bat from Joe Panik, and that'll bring up Buster Posey.
Now the table's set now for Posey. Panik getting a fastball down and in and just simply dropped the bat head on it.
Now you see the numbers for Buster Posey against left-handers. Very good.
You know what's amazing about the top 5? You would expect it would be all right-handers who hit lefties, but
it would.
Ichiro, a left-handed hitter in that top 5. Tells you all you need to know about Ichiro. What kind of career he's had.
Mike Butcher comes out again. So here's Buster Posey. Buster's walked and he's bounced out to short. And he takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Swinging a high pop-up foul, and that's out of play.
That changeup has really taken the back leg away from Posey tonight. That's not the first time he's been off balance reaching for that changeup from Robbie Ray.
Buster at first base tonight. Here's the pitch Mike's talking about.
There's the reach.
And tight, 2 balls and a strike.
Ray cannot believe he didn't get that pitch. Big difference between a 2-1 count and a 1-2 count.
Is there ever? And it's 3-1.
Castillo wanted another changeup, and that time it wasn't close. That's an easy take for Posey. And now Posey's in the driver's seat. 3-1 count, sitting on count leverage. And this is when you can think more than just a single. You can let out some shaft.
Three and two.
Oh, he broke him down with a 3-run slider. Good one. Prior to that pitch, the Diamondbacks started heading the bullpenners down, and you can see the 3-1 snap on this. And not often you see Posey break down mid-swing. Evan Marshall, the right-hander, is starting to get loose now for Arizona.
3-2. Out of play.
So again, Castillo wants another slider. This one a little bit out over the plate. Posey fights off.
Three-two pitch. Here it is to Buster Posey. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second is. They got him.
Giants are going to take a look at this one. Joe Panik is not leaving second base.
I think he beat that one. I think he's safe.
Unless he came off. Nope, he did not come off.
The throw just on the shortstop side of the bag, and that allowed a little opportunity. He's safe.
Yeah, so that'll be a stolen base for Panic. This replay review is presented by Xfinity. But a big strikeout, Robbie Ray.
And a 3-2 fastball challenge. I mean, that's the beauty of a 3-0 lead. Even when you have a RBI guy up there with a lot of power like Posey, as you can put the pressure on him. And they just replayed it here at the ballpark, and all the Giants fans saw what you have seen.
Well, there's your call.
Bill Miller, the crew chief, with the safe sign. And just a little bit of opportunity. That's all it took as Panic beats the tag from Segura by inches. And it keeps this inning alive and hopes alive.
So here's Hunter Pence. He's 1 for 2. Span at third. Panic at second.
So Castillo dropped a sign. I think he called for a changeup, but all of a sudden, as Ray started, he calls timeout. And I think Castillo wants to make sure that whatever Ray throws, he's going to believe in it. A couple of second basemen talking it over.
So Pence, an RBI opportunity here in the 5th. Giants trying to get on the board. And a breaking ball down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Low again.
You know, he's pitching like he's got an open base, and that may have also been the message from Castillo. Don't give me anything good to hit. The last fastball that Pence has seen tonight was the first pitch that he saw in this game. He hit it to right field on a bullet. This is the first Giants hit. After that, it's been changeups and sliders.
Swing and a foul. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Change up
at the 87 pitch mark now for Robbie Ray. On the ground to Ahmed, and that's going to end the inning. Giants strand a pair, and it remains 3-0 D-backs.
7. Pregame live will start at 6:30 right here on CSN Bay Area. It'll be game 3 of this 4-game series. It'll be Zach Greinke against Madison Bumgarner. So join us. The home of authentic Giants fan is CSN. Here's Nick Ahmed to lead things off. Ahmed on the first pitch from Broadway pops this one out to Hunter Pence, and Hunter Pence will put it away. So Ahmed retired, and here's Owings. It was Owings that got everything started in the 5th inning when he opened up the inning with a double off of Matt Cain. First pitch is a high fastball, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, prior to that swing of the bat from Owings, I mean, Cain had not given up a hit. He's thinking first pitch, get it in fastball. And all of a sudden, whap. Owings jumped on it.
And Owings has got another base hit. Pence is going to cut this off.
Well, they definitely found out he can hit a fastball.
So here's Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray with a sacrifice bunt in the 5th. Likely he'll try that again here in the 6th. And he bunts it foul, and it's 0-1.
Now, it would have to be a really hard hit bunt in order to get Owings at second base on a force. Owings runs very well.
Quick toss. Owings is back. He's been on base 3 times. An intentional walk. You see Lopez getting loose, a double, and now a single. Pulls the bat back and fouls it down the left field line and out of play.
It's almost automatic anymore when you see a third baseman really get shallow prior to an anticipated bunt. Managers are letting their pitchers, even if they're below average as a hitter, they let them swing away. Biggest fear that Chip Hale has is that there's a bunt that's just hit too hard that they can get a force out at second with.
Outside and low, 1-2. Well, that's Oski.
Cal mascot making friends, infringing on Lucille's territory.
Mullins had a bit of a lean going.
Pretty good move right there for Broderick. Remember, he's 6'5", 235. Get that ball over to first base quickly. There's Oski.
The lady on the right of Oski, not that thrilled, I got to tell you. 2-2.
So you're thinking she'd rather have a tree sit on her lap?
Yeah, something. Anybody but that guy. Or that bear. I beg your pardon. See the woman in the sweatshirt says, "Pardon my dislike for Oski."
He's a lover.
Runner goes. And a base hit to left field. So Robbie Ray slashes a hit, his first hit of the year.
That's a big play.
So here's Segura, who really is swinging the bat well. His average now at .351. And he takes a strike.
First pitch, get it in, slider.
You know you're doing pretty good when you're 1 for 3 and your average goes down.
Saw Michael Broadway come up last year in September. He was throwing 98, 99. We're not seeing that same fastball tonight. Even 93, 95. Javi Lopez is ready.
Trying to duck the breaking ball. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's one that Broadway wanted. Now he's talking to himself. Perhaps a bit high with the slider, but it's the reaction from Broadway. He's like, what am I going to do?
Out of play, 2-2. (3-0) Diamondbacks. A quiet night for the Giants offense after they scored 7 runs on 13 hits last night. Robbie Ray's been good. Got him.
95-mile-an-hour cut fastball, and he gets the strikeout that he needed. Ball just nice natural cut. Just rides right on out of the strike zone, and Segura cannot lay off. So that's going to bring out Goose Bochy, and here comes Javier Lopez.
So Lopez is coming in. 2 outs. 3-0 D-backs.
package will include a game ticket to see the Giants take on the Padres and a collector's edition Giants themed Year of the Monkey figurine. Call 415-972-2298 or go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out.
So Lopez to face Jake Lamb.
8th time that he has come into a game. You see the numbers last night. Got a big out for the Giants, threw well. And the numbers for Lopez, for the most part, are bloated because he hadn't been getting a whole lot of breaks. And he feels like he's throwing the ball pretty well. Last night he proved it. Trying to do it again tonight.
And this is rolled right past Goldschmidt.
Lopez trying to get out the hottest hitter on this Diamondbacks team. Man, with 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer so far in this series. And the Giants down 3-0. I mean, this is the biggest moment in this game.
Oh, 2 with 2 outs. And that'll end the inning. For the Giants, base runners and hits. Brown, Crawford, Duffy coming up.
SN Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By Kelly Moore Paints, celebrating 70 years as your neighborhood paint store. By Xfinity, X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
A 3-0 lead for the Diamondbacks. It'll be Brown, Crawford, and Duffy. Trying to guess what that street that was.
I wasn't looking.
We might have to take another look at it.
Well,
seeing as how there isn't much to look at. The Giants swinging the bats right now.
yeah, they're a little cold. They're due. It all starts with Trevor Brown.
He singled in the 4th. And he skies this one out to center field for Owings. 1 out, and here's Crawford. Crawford has struck out twice, both times looking. Now, if that shot that we showed you is in downtown Danville, I could probably give you a pretty good idea what street it was.
Crawford down the right field line, and moving over is Peralta. 2 outs. Columbus?
I think that's Columbus. It's right there in North Beach. Transamerica building, not too far away from original U.S. restaurant.
Mario Aliota's restaurant. All right. So we figured it out. We got enough people in the truck that know the city. Here's Duffy. But it's a great shot. Duffy 1 for 2. He has one of the 4 Giants hits. And a strike. 92 pitches for Robbie Ray. Good baseball name.
Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray Hart.
Good. Be a good name for a guard. Good name for a wide receiver.
It sounds fast. Robbie Ray sounds fast.
It does. In tight.
Look out.
2 and 2. And that's more like a Matt Duffy foul ball right there.
Go with the outside location, throw it to right field.
Yep. Would like to get Mac Williamson to the plate. On the ground and a base hit.
And that's the type of base hit you saw so often last year from Duffy, going to right field.
All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, gentlemen, last night we showed you video of Bam Bam working with Matt Duffy before the game. Of course, tonight it's resulted in 2 hits. I sat down with Bam Bam. He said that Matt was scuffling because he was drifting while he was at the plate. He said it happens to every single hitter, that they simply get anxious and they try to do too much. So Bam Bam's job is to simply remind Matt to get that foot down, create separation, and see the ball before you swing the bat. Gentlemen.
Sounds so simple.
It sounds so easy.
But you can get into some bad habits. Here's the swings by Matt Duffy.
Now, when he's dialed, that front shoulder's locked, his head stays still, and he'll take a high fastball away and do this. And that's really what he's been trying to do, to correct himself, get better pitches to hit, go with the location, allow the ball to get a little bit deeper to him. Don't, take the reach out of your swing. Bam Bam Newlands, Steve Decker putting in a lot of extra time getting Duffy back. And that at bat right there will go a long way, building confidence.
Mac Williamson stands in with 2 outs and Duffy at first. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Great spring training for Mac Williamson. See his combined numbers last year. High and foul and out of play to the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now we see some activity.
In the bleachers or in the bullpen?
Both.
Well, there you go. The attitude never changes, although they're getting a little impatient right now. They need to get this crowd in the game.
1 and 2. Standing in the Giants bullpen is Hunter Strickland. So he'll be the new Giants pitcher. And he got him to end the inning. 8 strikeouts for Robbie Ray. It's Columbus. We all voted on it. It's Columbus. It's 3-0 D-backs. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Very quiet night offensively for the Giants. Robbie Ray's been good. Matt Cain gave up 3 runs in the 5th inning, but otherwise pitched well. Giants have left 8 men on base. They're 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. 3-0 D-backs as Hunter Strickland comes in when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Hunter Strickland in now for the Giants. It'll be the 7th time that he has come in. 7 strikeouts against 1 walk and 5 1/3. Mid to high 90s with the fastball, slider, and a split.
Goldschmidt takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. There was a proposal in between innings, and that gentleman there asked that woman if she would like to be married to him, and she said yes. There's a pitch down low, 2-0.
Well, I mean, that's been the offense tonight.
People stood up, they were cheering, and we're thankful for that.
It was a pretty nice size ring he put on her fingers, as we recall.
Go to a jeweler's tomorrow and check it out. Three and 0. 3-1. Here's the proposal. Oh.
I mean, you always run the risk. You're going to ask her to marry in front of 41,000. You better know she's going to say
you
yes.
have to know the answer before you ask. Tap to Crawford. Crawford will charge it, get rid of it. It's kind of like that first time you ask someone on a date when you're in high school.
Yeah.
Pretty much have to know the answer.
Yeah, you got to know the answer.
Because if it's a big no, then it's another 2 years before you ask anybody else again.
At least 2 years.
And that's why you have friends. You send the friends out to find out what the answer is ahead of time.
Yeah, at least 2 years. And then you do it when your family's on the vacation. Not in your high school.
Peralta takes low, 1-0.
Where was that?
It's low. Don't get me started.
Yeah, tight zone tonight.
There's a guy next door who caught you a lot, and we were joking before the game, Bob Brenly. And he is lobbying hard for the computerized strike zone.
Well, don't forget now, he was a manager at the big league level.
And a catcher.
And a catcher.
There he is.
Not that he doesn't love umpires, but I think
he does like umpires.
Prefers consistency with the strike zone.
It's a one hopper to Panic. I just kind of brought it up kiddingly, and he was like, that. All right. She wants a reenactment. No. I need a picture.
Yep, she's pretty psyched up. And should be. Nice going.
There's an app now that you can get that finds out if that's a cubic zirconia.
Yeah.
You take a picture of it and it gives you the answer.
Yeah.
Hey,
you got people looking. I bet somebody did it. To be honest with you,
it could be out there, or either that, or we just ruined a good thing. Tomas with a big swing and a miss. 0-1. You can do it with wine, right? You take a picture of the label and
oh yeah,
it'll come back and tell you what the bottle's worth. I think it's not a bad idea.
No, it's not.
The cubic zirconia app. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And maybe even to spice it up, it'll just jet out the value of the diamond.
Yeah,
might.
She is pretty happy. She means that smile.
1-2.
2 sliders, 2 swings, 2 strikes. Chafin, the only left-hander in the bullpen. Yeah, Andrew Chafin.
And he's good. And that'll end the inning. 2 ground balls and a strikeout. Check out the app. It's 3-0. The Diamondbacks. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up. and smog experts. There's Andrew Chafin.
As promised, the only lefty in this D-backs bullpen. A hard thrower. You're going to see a fastball that goes low to mid-90s, hard slider and a changeup. Just a little over a year's time in the big league. Chafin, 25 years old. He missed the entire 2010 season with Tommy John, so they rebuilt him, and he throws well.
And Pagan dumps one down the right field line, and it's going to be out of play. The big guy got it down the right field line.
Did he?
Yep.
There's the big guy. I recognize him. You know why? Because he's the big guy.
He is the big guy.
Elephant ear.
Right at the big guy again. Nope. That hit one of the seats and ricocheted a little higher.
Let's take a look at the big guy. I got it. I got this one. Oh, well, yeah. It's okay to use your chest or your boiler.
In tight.
Let's go, big guy.
1-2 to Pagan. And Pagan out swinging. And that's a hat trick for Angel Pagan. So here's Span.
Steven Okert getting ready to make his major league debut.
Span has been on base twice. A walk and then the hard way. Hit on the shoulder. The dirt. And I've got home plate umpire Todd Tishner.
Got him on the hand. Ball in dirt like that, if you're an umpire, you're counting on the catcher to at least get in the way of it. Breaking ball right out in front of home plate. Comes up and hits Tishner right inside above the elbow on the bicep of his left arm, and it kind of ricocheted into his mask.
It was kind of hooray for me, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm an umpire, I think I have a problem with the catcher about that.
Span right back to Chafin. 2 down. And that'll bring up Panic.
Well, our couple, soon to be a married couple, exiting to a round of applause on a night she'll never forget.
Panic singled in the 5th. Oh for 2 lifetime against Andrew Chafin. And a strike. Buster Posey to follow.
Evan Marshall, the right-hander, up again. Second hump he's had.
At the end of the bat, foul, another than 2. So Panic trying to get on for Posey with 2 outs here in the 7th. A 1-2. Things will not get any easier for the Giants tomorrow night. It'll be Zach Greinke. against Madison Bumgarner, and then Johnny Cueto, the day game on Thursday against Shelby Miller. Foul down the left field line and out of play. And then the Miami Marlins are in town with Don Mattingly, the manager, and Barry Bonds, the hitting coach. And Panic strikes out, and that's going to end the inning. 2 strikeouts for Chafin. 8th inning coming up. Here's your new pitcher, the lefty, Stephen Okert. For Esurance Giants postgame live. You're going to get all kinds of good things from highlights, reactions, analysis right after the ball game. Hey, we're watching a major league debut. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Well, San Francisco meets Stephen Okert, rookie left-hander, 6'3", 210-pounder. 24 years of age, out of the University of Oklahoma, former 4th-round pick by the Giants in 2012.
So a lot of them in spring training over the years. That's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, he's got good stuff. You'll see mid-90s with the fastball. He's got 2 types of breaking ball and a changeup. He can cut and sink the fastball.
Roger on the left, Tammy in the middle. And those are mom and dad of Stephen Okert.
Psyched.
Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Okert in his minor league career has never started games, so he signed as a 4th-round pick right into the bullpen. And in 219 career innings prior to the season, he had 248 strikeouts. He's giving you an idea of the type of stuff that he has. Strikeout stuff. And you can imagine a little amped up tonight.
Yeah, he wouldn't be the first debut for a pitcher to walk the first hitter he faces.
Well, that's exactly what happens. In Sacramento this year, in 4 games, I beg your pardon, 6 2/3 innings, he had 8 strikeouts. So he's throwing with confidence right now, but right now he's going to have to find that strike zone, find a way to find the calm.
On the ground, Crawford digs it out. That's one. That's two. And Stephen Okert saying, thank you very much.
It helps to have a Gold Glover at shortstop to turn back a hard smash into a double play. And that'll put some smiles on mom and dad. I'm a two-hopper, and Crawford, Panic, and Posey do the rest. Nice high feed, perfect throw from Crawford to set up the pivot. And just like that, 2 quick outs.
Here's Chris Owings. That's his family sitting down there in the Dean seats.
Exciting moment to never forget it.
I'm saying right now that Brandon Crawford's their second favorite player. This is going to end the inning. Mom, break out the whistle. I love moms that can whistle.
It's a good one.
5 in the 8th coming up. Posey is going to lead things off.
Park, and there was a very special event prior to tonight's game. It was the Junior Giants Coaches Drive. Don't try and say that 5 times fast. About 50 Junior Giants coaches got to go to a pregame reception hosted by our own John Miller and skipper Bruce Bochy. And tonight there are about 350 coaches in the stands, and then they went around looking for volunteer coaches at tonight's game. And guys, anyone can be a Junior Giants coach. You can just log on to jrgiants.org if you are interested in helping out a fantastic program. Dwayne.
Indeed it is. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
So the D-backs bring in their sinker baller, Evan Marshall. You'll see a fastball low to mid-90s with big-time sink to it, hard slider and a changeup.
And Posey opens up the 8th inning with a base hit. And that'll bring Hunter Pence to the plate.
And that is the first time tonight the Giants have been able to get the leadoff hitter on base.
And that's important. Pence is 1 for 3. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Pence 1 for 4 in his career against Evan Marshall. Posey now 4 for 6 lifetime against Marshall.
Changeup.
The big fist. First discovered that in Milwaukee when you ordered a handful of them.
Yeah, I had to have those. Big hit in my house. So 3 pitches. He's dragged Hunter Pence through the garden. First pitch fastball, second pitch changeup, third pitch breaking ball. So he's showing him everything he's got.
Two and two.
Good pitch, good take. That's how you take advantage of a 1-2 count as a pitcher. Four pitches thrown to Hunter Pence, 3 breaking balls, or 3 off-speed pitches. 2 changeups and a slider.
Out of play.
And he paints him at 93 outside corner at the knees. And so right now, Marshall is throwing some quality pitches.
He is. Pence taps this one. It could be a pair. And Goldschmidt digs it out, and they get a double play.
I tell you, we've seen Goldschmidt with some beautiful digs. He's really saved his infield tonight. And one thing about Gene Segura, this D-back second baseman, he's a former shortstop. He's got a cannon. And this was not an easy hop either to try and stay with on the backhand. Unloads. Just nice soft-handed backhand, scooping her up. Gold Glover for a reason.
So here's Trevor Brown. No balls and 1 strike. Brown is 1 for 3. He singled in the 4th inning. But really the difference in this game, the Giants are only 1 hit behind the Diamondbacks. D-backs with 7, the Giants with 6. Giants have spread theirs out over 8 innings. The Diamondbacks had 5 of their 7 hits in the 5th. And that's the difference. Outside and low.
And it's tough to be patient as a manager. An offense at times shows life, and other times they sputter. Trying to find a rhythm, a consistency. You know, April's can be tough months. You don't find your chemistry as a team in April.
Out of play again.
A nice play by a fan, reaching over, snagging one out of the club level. Hey, you never know when the game's going to find you.
You never know.
Even if you have a ticket.
Low. 3-2. Two-out rally. That's what the Giants are looking for. And the walk.
Well, right now that's a rally.
Crawford tonight is 0 for 3. Robbie Ray started the game. He was very good. Outside and low with Matt Duffy on deck. About time for Mike Butcher to come out, isn't it?
Well, yep. And we have a Mike Butcher sighting. D-backs pitching coach. And this is why he's out there. He's going to allow Tyler Clippard a chance to go out, throw a few fastballs as he starts to get ready. It's not a complete red alert. It's just go down there and start throwing. Meanwhile, the hot chocolate guys are running out of steam.
Hey, you got to get a breather strapping that thing on your back going up and down the steps.
Oh yeah, a cool night. They're very popular.
Crawford taps it foul.
Sinking 94 at knees outside corner. And Marshall, like a lot of sinker ballers, keeps that ball down around the knees. He gets big time movement. As it gets up around the belt, it flattens out a little bit, starts to fade, which runs away from the left-handed hitter like Crawford. And that's a good miss if you're a sinker baller down below the strike zone. The old saying, how do you hit a sinker baller? You look up. That's true. As that ball gets down below the strike zone, it gets heavy.
Two and two now to Crawford.
Changeups and sinkers. 4 pitches, 2 sinkers, 2 changeups. But that's the type of changeup that makes a guy step out of the box and have a word with himself. That's a good one.
Tapped slowly, and that'll end the inning. 9th inning coming up.
It's going to be Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Hour-long pregame live at 5:30 p.m. You'll see it on CSN Bay Area. Game 3 as the Warriors head to Houston. Home of the authentic Warriors fan is CSN.
So Ricky Weeks is going to pinch hit.
Hey, the Gamer Bays are here.
They are.
Having fun.
So Oakert back out after a successful 8th inning. And a rocket down the left field line, and it hits the line. So Ricky Weeks is going to open up the 9th with a double. So that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Gene Segura.
All right, how fair was this? Right over the arm of Duffy. Just about 4 inches fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough indeed.
The bunt is foul. Segura 1 for 4. Right down the pipe, 0-2.
That's a good breaking ball. All these Diamondbacks are seeing Oakert pretty much for the first time. Hitting off a scout report. I mean, it'll give you an idea about what type of fastball he has. You pretty much have that knowledge if you've been around this game a while, just knowing how the guy's arm angle is, and with the low 3/4 release that he has, you're going to get a little run that goes away from a right-handed hitter.
Tap to third, charging is Duffy. He makes a nice play, and on the play, Weeks goes to third. So productive out.
That wasn't going to be easy, given the fact that Segura runs well. Duffy had to make this clean. He had no margin for error. Playing him back. Come in, and here's the exchange on the run. Right foot. Whip, and in the end, not even close.
So Brown goes out to have a talk with Oakert.
Yeah, it's a strikeout situation. And he knows that. But you go back and look at his numbers in the minor leagues where he's had almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's very well equipped to try and get that strikeout.
Strike to Lamb, who tripled in the 5th inning against the lefty Javier Lopez. Lopez struck him out in the 6th. This is out of play. Giants play the infield in.
Shortstop Crawford about 4 steps towards second base, so they're playing him to pull. And the thing too about Oakert, I mean, we talked about the different movements he can put on the ball. He can strike out with all of his stuff. He's not just a one-pitch strikeout guy. So an 0-2 fastball, he misses off the plate. Good ball. It looked more like a cutter.
Two and two. Got him.
And that's what he was pitching for. And he saved the slider for a little two-strike surprise. And Mom gets to clap again. Keep Mom happy.
Now you got Goldschmidt.
Good hard slider in a perfect position. Get him to chase down below the strike zone away. But an easy call for Bruce Bochy to intentionally walk Goldschmidt. Gotta be careful with these intentional walk throws he's making. They're pretty close to home plate.
Ball got away from the Diamondbacks bullpen.
Easy to walk Goldschmidt when you got the left-handed hitting Peralta on deck. And Peralta likes that first pitch.
At third is Weeks. At first is Goldschmidt. And a strike. Derek Law jogging down to the bullpen.
Just go down there and start playing catch.
Out of play, nothing in two.
Well, from Peralta's perspective, that was probably the best breaking ball location-wise he was going to see.
Got him. Nice job. Giants are coming up. Duffy, pinch hitter, Pagan. 3-0 D-backs.
Have a night, kid. Stephen Oakert in his major league debut is worthy of that distinction. Why is that? 2 innings, strong innings. He winds up striking out a couple. He walked a couple, one intentionally. He really went through the heart of these Diamondbacks, and he does it in front of his mom and dad. What a night for Stephen Oakland, his debut, and he is our Honda Player of the Game.
So the new pitcher is Tyler Clippard.
And he's off to a great start, 2-0 in 5 games. 5 strikeouts against a walk, just 4 base runners allowed in the 5 innings he's thrown. You're going to see a low 90s fastball. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup, and he'll throw everything at you. And he's got a little funkiness to his delivery with a high 3/4 release.
Brandon Belt is on deck. Giants need some base runners to get the tying run to home plate. Off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Duffy's got a couple of hits tonight. Both balls to right field.
There's the changeup. Normally you'll see Brad Ziegler in a safe situation for the Diamondbacks, but he's been worked a lot lately, so a night off, and it's nice to be able to go to your setup man, Clippard, who had a season back in 2012 with the Nationals where he had 32 saves, so he's very capable of this role.
So he comes in with a strike.
Clippard in his career 53 saves.
In tight. 3-1. Walks as good as a hit.
Base runners. It's all about base runners right now.
And the walk.
Well, Clippard thought he should have had that one.
Well, but he's finding out what we've watched all along from Todd Tishner.
You're going to get a strike. You're going to throw it across the plate. You're not going to get much help off the plate. Either side of the plate.
So here's Belt.
Giants looking for some thunder here to get this crowd going. Wake up that offense. They've been stagnant all night.
Here's Belt. Belt taps this one foul.
First pitch changeup way out front. We first saw Clippard, we saw a guy who had mid to high 90s with a fastball, and then he had that changeup that just was a Bugs Bunny changeup. It looked good up there and just seemed to stop in front of home plate. Now he's lost some velocity on the fastball, but still an outstanding changeup. There's a Brandon Belt fan. You can just tell. She loves the baby giraffe.
And it's high to Brandon Belt.
I always thought you could tell how good a changeup was for a guy as to how many times he could throw it in a row. Trevor Hoffman, the great closer for the Padres, he could throw it 10 times in a row. You could,
yeah, and sometimes he would.
And Clippard, I mean, he can run a string of changeups at you. It's a good one.
Belt skies this one out of play. So Giants looking for another base runner. Angel Pagan's on deck. Yeah, it's got a piece.
And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I have a breaking ball too. Don't forget about that. So one shot at the back foot with a breaking ball. It is that time. Rally time.
One and two to Belt. Curveball, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was a slider or a curveball. He didn't miss by much there.
Giants trying to battle here in the ninth. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Belt skies one to center field. Owings out in left center is going to make the catch. So a long out, bringing Pagan to the plate. Save that one for Arizona. So here's Angel Pagan. Pagan has struck out 3 times in this game. And that's a bit unusual for him.
Oh yeah, given the start that he's had this year, he's been the hottest Giant.
First pitch low.
Clippard really does not look as comfortable as we normally see him on the mound because he's not as sharp with his command.
Could be a pair. Pagan beats it out. That ball hit off the end of the bat. So Span's going to get a chance to face his old teammate.
Clippard, Span, teammates with the Nationals. Well, we saw the D-backs down to their last out, last strike last night, come back and eventually win the game in extra innings. And here the Giants are with their last out.
Pagan goes. He'll make it easily. It will not be a stolen base. Span needs to get on to get the tying run to the plate.
Take the challenge. Don't beat the last out. Be the guy that gets it going. Span in a take mode, so there's his strike. That one he'll give Clippard. Chance to come back. Steven Oker has a chance to get a win.
That would be something.
It would be.
A ball and a strike. And this is hit on the ground to Segura, and that's the ball game. So game 2 in the series goes to the Diamondbacks. Last night a lot of hitting. Tonight, with the exception of 1 inning where Arizona scored 3 runs in the 5th, the Giants get shut out on only 6 hits. So disappointing night for the offense, but I will say this, you don't want to give credit every night to the opposing pitcher, but Robbie Ray was pretty good tonight.
He really was. I mean, the Giants didn't get a lot of loud contact off him, and he didn't have great command. It was effective wildness, and in the end, he just allowed a couple of walks with 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. He was the difference maker.
Bullpen also came in and shut things down. So the final score here at AT&T Park, D-backs 3, Giants nothing. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live with interviews and the wrap starts right now.